How's it going, guys? Jack Pugsley here, and welcome to the channel. Guys, today, a video that I've been wanting to make personally for a very long time now. And that video is me going to be giving my 2019 to 2020 Championship League Table predictions. Like I just said, a video that I've been wanting to make before I even started YouTube, okay? A video that I've been wanting to make for a very long time now. And I'm so excited that I can finally make it. Getting straight into it, guys, okay? No hard feelings to any of the teams, so don't drop a dislike if your team's last. Like Barnsley, okay? 24th place, Barnsley. Look, no hard feelings to Barnsley, okay? They've got a good team this season as well, okay? But the thing that's letting them down for me, okay, is their manager, Daniel Stendel. What I've heard from a few Barnsley fans, they might be wrong, I'm not sure, but I will take their word on it, okay? Daniel Stendel plays very boring, negative football, and is a bit of a dinosaur in the game, okay? When I watched them last year, look, I don't think they played bad football. I watched them on Sky Sports. I think it was against Sunderland, okay? They look like a very good side. And don't get me wrong, they've got some good players as well. Kiefer Moore up front, who's currently linked with Bristol City. Wigan as well, and recently been linked with Sunderland. Carly Woodrum, a very good striker. Proven with Fulham and Burton Albion. Kavar at right back, very good. Adam Davies in goal. Panios at left back, ex-Forest player, They've got a good side, and I don't think we should, and not even say that, they've got Alex Mowat in midfield, who's a very good midfielder, proven in this league as well with Leeds in the past. They've got a good side, okay, but I just feel like this year is going to be one of the toughest times to get into this league. Okay? I feel the money that's been spent is just massive amounts, and especially the teams like Luton Town, Charlton, Barnsley. I think they're all going to struggle this year, So yeah, 24th Barnsley, no hard feelings. They've got some great players, Kiefer Moore, a very good striker. But, a lot of players have been linked with other clubs, okay? But Connor Chapman as well, who's come in, who can do a very good job. On career mode a couple of years ago, is one of my standout players at Portsmouth, and I did Portsmouth career mode. They've got a good side, but I just really do see them struggling under Stendel this season. So no hard feelings. 24th place, Barnsley. In 23rd place, okay, I've gone with Charlton Athletic. Again, not a bad side. Lyle Taylor up front, Dyche Steele, I don't know how you say his name, Dyche Steele, big defender at the back. Who's currently linked with Aston Villa. But who isn't linked with Aston Villa recently? They've been linked with every single person. They've got Ben Amos in goal, who in my opinion is a very good Championship goalkeeper, proven in this division. But I really do see them struggling this season, okay? I don't think they've got enough names in them. I think their only really good names Dyche Steele and Lyle Taylor, okay? Other than that, I don't see many players doing well for them. They've not really invested much into the team. They're not the manager. Their owner, Roland, doesn't like to invest in the team very much, and a few years ago, they sold Lookman to Everton, okay, for £10 million. The next day, they only went and brought out a £10 million yacht, okay? Not the best. But their manager, Lee Bowyer, okay, a very good manager. And I feel like, I don't know what it is, but I feel like a team like Fulham and West Brom will sack the manager midway through the season, okay? And Lee Bowyer will be the sort of guy to go take the job. I feel like he's too good for Charlton, okay? I feel like he should be managing, maybe a low Premier League side, but especially he should be definitely managing, a good Championship side, okay? I feel like he's wasted at Charlton. I don't think he should have signed that contract, because there was interest from Fulham, I heard, as well, before he signed the contract. But they haven't got many good names in there. They've not really invested into the squad. That is partly because of Roland. So yeah, 23rd place, no hard feelings, Charlton. 22nd place, a bit controversial, okay? I put Millwall. Look, Millwall, again, it made some, a bit like Barnsley, okay? Made some very good signings this season, Matt Smith up front, not really a goal scorer, but when you go to Loftus Road last season, you always have to watch out for him on set pieces, okay? Very good in the air. Tom Bradshaw up front, a very good striker. They recently brought in two very good Championship proven goalkeepers as well, Bartel Belowski and Frank Fielding. They brought some very good players, okay? And not to mention Connor Mahoney. In my opinion, I think that's a terrible move for himself. I feel like he could have easily gone back to a really good team like Birmingham. But this season, again, I don't really think Birmingham are going to do very well. I think the loss of Gary Monk really did ruin them, really. Again, owners ruining football clubs. But Connor Mahoney as well. Millwall done very well to get him, okay? I remember we were linked with him a few years ago, but he went to Bournemouth instead, and he's now ended up at Millwall. Didn't really go very well for him, but no, they're a very good side. But again, like Barnsley, okay, the thing I think that's letting them down is Neil Harris, their manager, okay? Last season I watched a YouTuber called Lions TV, a Millwall YouTuber content creator on the channel, on the platform, and he was very annoyed with Neil Harris, okay? It's like every game it was like a 4-4-2 playing Elliott up front and Bradshaw. It was always the same. The manager really never changed it. But yeah, they've got some good goalkeepers, and I remember Lions TV moaning about how they had Archer up in goal. Now they've got two really good Championship keepers in Fielding and Bill Koski, whatever you say. But yeah, I just really don't see them doing very well because of their manager, and I feel like they need to strengthen in the back as well. The back and the back four's really not the best. They need to strengthen on that. We'll see what happens with them. But yeah, 22nd spot, Millwall. In 21st place, okay, I've put Blackburn Rovers. Again, I don't think they've got a bad side. I don't think they've got a bad manager as well. They've got some great players in Bradley Dack, Danny Graham, Ben Brereton's decent as well. Not the best at times, but can be decent. They brought Walton in goal as well. Obviously, the loss of Raya to Brentford was massive for them. He was a really good keeper and could command his area really, really well. But yeah, Walton's a really good addition. Adebayor from from Manchester City. They've loaned him out to Blackburn. He was on loan at West Brom last season. I don't even know how you say his name, to be honest. But he can play centre back or right back. Very, very versatile defender. But look, I feel like they need to improve their midfield, okay? I think, they need to have some bigger names in there, because I can't really name you many midfielders from Blackburn. I'm trying to think of one now, but I can't think of any. Ballymore Grew, okay, very versatile, again, can play midfield or centre-back. He's the only really good midfielder who can play there. They need to improve. They really need to improve their squad if they want to have any chance of staying up. Maybe backup striker as well, because Brereton, in my opinion, needs to go on loan to a Championship club or maybe a League One club. Because when he was at Forest, he was really poor. He had some good games, but other than that, he was really poor. So all it is for Blackburn is they need to improve more. They've got a week or two left to make some signings before the window ends. So yeah, 21st place, just need to make some more signings. Blackburn Rovers. 20th place, okay. They've stayed up. It's Luton Town, the one everyone's talking about. The most exciting away day for me as well and for everyone else this season. One of the only ones I haven't done. But yeah, Luton Town, they've brought in some decent players, okay. And I do feel like they'll be a bit like Wigan were last season, okay, or Rotherham in a way. A very hard team to break down. I don't think they'll be good. I don't think they'll, play the beautiful football that we all think, some teams will, like your Leeds and your West Brom, okay. I think they'll just settle for decent football and decent, results, okay. I think if they get a point every game this season, they'll be happy. It's sort of team where you do think it's going to be quite easy when they come up, and then you do pay them. They do give you a very, very good game. They sometimes can beat you and hold you to a point as well. But yeah, they'll be that sort of team. They've brought in some good players as well, very experienced in this league as well. Not the best players, but experienced players such as Callum McManaman, Kazenga Luar. He's a very, very good name as well for Brighton a few years back. And they're on the verge of signing Isaac Vassels from Birmingham. So yeah, they've got a very good side for this league if you want to stay up. They've not got a side that's going to make you think, wow, they're going up, because they're not. In my opinion, they probably won't go up. In a lot of other Championship fans' opinion, they probably won't go up. They've got some very, very good players, to keep them in this league. And I think they'll be a very, very tough team to break down this season. Obviously, their manager, Graham Jones, as well. He obviously worked alongside Thierry Henry at Monaco and Belgium, I believe. So yeah, look, a very, very good manager in them and a very, very good team to stay up this season. A lot of people are writing them off already. They won't be dark horses, okay, but they will stay up, in my opinion. And yeah, all the best Luton Town as well. In 20th place, Luton Town. In 19th place, okay, Birmingham City. Look, if these kept Gary Monk, I would have said they would have finished about 7th or 8th next season. But their owners, I don't know, they're in some Chinese lot who have really just thrown them down the chimney. They just really ruined it for them, okay? Gary Monk was their only manager they've had in years, okay? Other than probably Gary Rowett, but Monk's been brilliant for them. He really got the fans together. When times got tough for Birmingham City, he kept them together. He kept them going, at times as well. Brought in some great players as well. Got the best out of players like Che Adams, Stockdale. Stockdale, in my opinion, was a terrible goalkeeper, but Monk got the best out of these sort of players. And Morrison as well, Holly Dean. He got the best out of them. Okay. Obviously now they've got Pep Clotet. I don't really know how you say his name. Not much experience in football. Okay. I really don't see him doing much this season, and it is very sad for Birmingham. Okay, because I don't mind Birmingham. I prefer them over Aston Villa. That's just my opinion. I don't mind Aston Villa as well, but I just prefer Birmingham. But it's very sad because, again, it's a season where they could have had a lot more than they could have had. I just feel like luck's really not on their side in the last few years. It's never really been on their side. And it's very sad. But, they have brought in some good players as well. Daniel Crowley, the Turkish, I think he was on loan in some Turkish side a few years ago. A good midfielder. He chose Birmingham over PSV and apparently Ajax, that's what I've heard. So yeah, I'm just looking at my phone now because I don't really know much about Birmingham this season. Harley Dean as well, very good centre back. Just signed a new recent deal until 2023. They recently brought in Ramos as well from Real Madrid. You probably think, wow, Real Madrid, okay. But I tried him at my career mode a few years ago. It is FIFA, but he really wasn't very good. But yeah, Birmingham, I do feel bad for them because they've not really brought in many players, okay. The loss of Che Adams, Jota as well. Massive losses for them. Their only leader now is obviously Harvey Dean and Kieftenbelt because obviously the loss of Michael Morrison to Reading as well. So yeah, I do feel really bad for Birmingham City. They deserve much more. Luck's never really been on their side. So yeah, 19th place, Birmingham City. In 18th place, one that probably a lot of you guys won't be probably expect me to put, or probably no one would have expected it. But I put Preston North End, okay? this season, well, last season, shall I say, they were about, towards the end of the season, they were about to go up, okay? Everyone thought they were going to be the dark horses and get 6th place, okay? But then they kind of finished 11th. That's how tight, the top end of the table was last season. But this season, their only player they've really brought in that's actually, well known is David Nugent, okay? And I hate him personally because he's played for Leicester, Derby, and he hates Forest as well, and we hate him as much as he hates us. But yeah, David Nugent, okay, is the only player they've brought in, one player that I know properly, and it's just really poor. He was terrible at Derby last season. They've got Paul Gallagher, Daniel Johnson, who's on the verge of going to Wigan. They've got some good players though. Alan Brown, a decent player. Bart Coulson, a good player as well. But, David Nugent, so that's your only player that you've brought in. When, Preston did need a lot of money reintegrated into the club. They needed money invested, and they've not done that this season. But Alex Neil's a good manager, I'm not going to lie there. A very, very good manager in this league. Proven at Norwich as well. But yeah, I just really don't see them doing much this season. They've not brought in enough players. They've not sold enough. They've not made enough as well. So yeah, Alan Brown, a good player, but they've not really got much than that. So yeah, 18th place, Preston North End. In 17th place, I put Wigan Athletic, okay. These are doing some really, really good business in the summer by the looks of it, Obviously, they got a really good centre-back in Danny Fox, who was at Forest a few years ago. I still don't know why we let him leave, because he was one of our best centre-backs, and he still would be now if we kept him. I think him and Milosevic, I still dream about that every day. Him and Milosevic would be a dream pairing. Also brought in Lewis McLeod, I don't know how you say his name, from Brentford as well. He used to start for Brentford. I don't know why they let him go, because he was a really good midfielder when I watched him play anyway. He scored against us last season as well. Obviously, they brought in Joe Williams from Everton. Don't know much about him, but they brought him for quite a cheap fee of £1 million. So he must have quite a bit of potential, And obviously, they're on the verge of signing Jamal Lowe, which is a very, very good signing. I think Millwall and him are going for him, but someone that Jamal Lowe would be someone that I'd really want at Forest. Okay, a very, very good player. I think he's too good for Wigan in my opinion as well. But Paul Cook's a very good manager for Wigan. He's brought in some really good names. A Liverpool fan himself. He's done really well, and he's the manager. I think a lot of clubs need a British manager, an English manager like Paul Cook for teams like Wigan is perfect. Okay, so I think a decent season for Wigan if they did get 17th. Not a bad side, not bad fans. Decent team. Brought in some good players as well. So yeah, 17th place, Wigan. 16th place, I put Reading, okay. I think Reading fans will be happy where I've put them, okay. They've brought some really good players in. Matt Miazzaga, I don't know how to say his name, from Chelsea on loan. He was there last season, 6'3" defender. Really good in the air and really good on the ball as well. Michael Morrison from Birmingham, who in my opinion is an absolute steal as well. I don't know how much they brought him for, but he's a really good centre-back. He's already scored in a pre-season friendly against Chelsea, I believe, in a header or someone. A really, really good player. And they got Danny Loader up front, who's a young talent coming through who did really well. I remember that screamer he scored against Middlesbrough last season, it was, when they lost 2-1, but it was a brilliant goal from him. So they've got some really good players, and they've got a really good manager in Gomez as well. Gomez is a really good manager, and people are saying he's one of the best in the league, okay? I remember he was linked with Everton, or was it Watford, I'm not too sure, but a really good manager, okay? If they give him time, I think in a couple of years they will be back up there. They need to invest into the squad there. I don't know who their owner is now. I know it's not that Madejski guy, but they need to invest a bit more into their squad, okay? But yeah, 16th place, Reading. Not a bad side this season. 15th place, I put Swansea City, okay? They have done nothing this summer, okay? They've only gone and sold their best player to Manchester United, Dan James, and Ollie McBurney as well on the verge of signing for Sheffield United, their main goal scorer, okay? The main players they look at now is Barry Mackay and Bora Baston, okay? They've really not got many players to look at now. They've got Matt Grimes in the middle, who's a decent midfielder. But obviously they've recently brought in Freddie Woodman as well from Newcastle, who's a good keeper. But I really do see him doing terrible this season. Their manager, Steve Cooper, not really had much experience other than the England under-21 manager. I would have thought he would have brought in some English youth, some English talent, but he's brought in nothing so far. But you have to feel sorry for Swansea as well. Their owners as well, who own DC United, the Americans, they've really done nothing for Swansea. They're not brought in any players other than sell their best 2 players and really not invested that money back into them. Instead, they've invested back into DC United, which is very, very sad for Swansea. They really do need, they just need a good owner that will, give them that stability. Because all they've got now is Bora Baston and Barry Mackay. It's really, really poor for them. Matt Grimes as well, Van der Horn. They've not really got much. And I do feel bad for Swansea because they do deserve good owners, good club. So yeah, 15th place, Swansea. In 14th place, I've put Hull City. Look, Hull City really haven't, had a bad transfer window. They brought in some great players. Tafalusi from Peterborough, a very, very good player. A very strong player as well. They've got Jackson Irvine and especially Jared Bowen, Kamil Grzycki, and they've got a good manager in Grant McCann as well, who did very, very well at Doncaster last season. Very unfortunate to not go through to the playoff final. But I think what is really, really, denying their season is if they keep hold of what is relying their season, shall I say. They're relying on keeping Jared Bowen and Kamil Grzycki. We were linked with Kamil Grzycki, but nothing happened. He's played that I really like in Nottingham Forest, the left winger that I really want at Forest. as I feel like we really need to strengthen as a left winger. But Jared Bowen as well, if they lose him, they are screwed, okay? Brilliant player. In my opinion, the best winger in the league. One of the best players in the league. Definitely Premier League quality. He should have got rid of Hull a long time ago. No offence to Hull, got nothing against Hull. But I think he's too good for Hull City. Should play in Premier League football. So yeah, 14th place, Hull City. 13th place, I put QPR, Queen's Park Rangers, take your pick. But look, when I first heard that they had appointed Mark Warburton, okay, I was literally like, what are you doing, guys? Okay, you are screwed, okay? Okay. But the owner, Tony Fernandez, has done some brilliant business with QPR this season. I think the loss of Luke Freeman was massive for them. Obviously, going to Sheffield United was, a big move for him in his career. But they brought in some great players, Johan Barbet, I think it is, who was at Brentford last season. I do not know why they released him, because he was a brilliant centre-back, the Frenchman. When I saw him at City again last season, he was class. And when I went to Griffin Park, he was brilliant. I don't know why they released such a player like that, because he's such a massive part in their season as well. But the two players they've brought in recently that are absolutely fabulous in my opinion, Mark Pugh and Todd Kane. Todd Kane from Chelsea and Mark Pugh from Bournemouth. Both were at Hull City last season on loan. But they've now come into QPR on absolutely fabulous signings, okay? Forest need right back as well, and I really wanted Todd Kane because he used to play for us a few years ago. But yeah, Mark Pugh, he was meant to go back to Hull, but I think QPR hijacked the move last minute. But yeah, QPR have done some brilliant business. Obviously, they've brought Cameron back as well, Jeff Cameron from Stoke, who was there till January last season from Stoke on loan, but now they've signed him permanently. Obviously, I think Cousins and Cameron did a bit of a swap deal. But Eze as well has got a massive part to play next season. So yeah, QPR, I think they're going to have a decent season for themselves. I don't know about Warburton, I'm a bit unsure, but he's brought in some good players. So yeah, 13th place, Queen's Park Rangers. In 12th place, I've put Sheffield Wednesday. The sad thing about Sheffield Wednesday is, okay, when I planned this video out months ago and they had Steve Bruce in charge, I was going to put them about 6th or 5th. But, the loss of Steve Bruce, okay, don't get me wrong, Steve Bruce isn't the best manager, but he really got the best out of them players. When I went to Sheffield Wednesday last season, I could feel in the ground a vibe that I never felt when I went to Hillsborough before. They would just felt really good, the fans did as well. And he did really well, the players he brought in, he did a really good job, he got them playing really well. I don't know why he went to Newcastle, because he would get a lot of hate for that, and he has got a lot of hate. I think it's a really, dodgy move from him. They've not really brought in many players. I think they've only brought in one, which is Moses Adubajo. I think that's how you say his name, from Brentford. Very versatile, can play right back or left back. I think he's suited to left back though. A good player, but I feel they need to bring a lot more in. Obviously Lee Bulletin, I don't really know how to say his name. I think it's Lee Bullen, okay, who's going to be their caretaker manager for the season. He did very well when he had that little job. I think Steve Agnew took his role last season. When he sacked I forgot his name, their manager there that manager there last season was terrible. I think it was Josh Lukai. Bullen did very well before Steve Agnew took over. Maybe he might get the manager's job, you never know. He did very well, but I feel like, Sheffield Wednesday have got to bring a lot more players in. Shansari, the owner's got to do a lot more, to get the fans back together, because Steve Bruce did really well for them. It's a massive loss. They've got some great players in Barry Bannon as well, Steve Fletcher, Forestieri, but 12th place I think is fair. But they need to bring some more players in my opinion, to have any chance of going up. In 11th place, I've put Huddersfield Town. I just think it's going to be a very average season for Huddersfield Town. I think the first season they went up was very unexpected. I don't think it was that deserved, because I remember we played them and we were pretty poor. But they've got some good players as well. Van La Parra, very good. A player that I'd love to sign at Forest, as we do need a left winger, like I said in this video already. Kachunga, Mui, and one that's come through the ranks recently, who was at Charlton before, I remember, who's recently starting to make a name for himself, is Carlon Grant. A striker that's on the odds to be one of the highest scorers this season. They've got a good team, but I'm not sure about the manager, Jan Stewart. I think that's how you say his name. I'm not sure about him, because last season they looked really poor. Yes, I know they didn't have the best squad, but he was really poor when he came in. They should have kept David Wagner, the things he did for them. And he is a better manager than Stewart. But look, they've got a good side as well, Alex Pritchard, etc. Obviously, we signed a couple of players from them, Michael Heffley and, of course, Joe Lolly. I think they want them back now. They're free for Heffley, but not Joe Lolly. Joe Lolly's staying. But look, they've got some good players, but I do feel like they need a new manager, preferably English. I'm not too sure. Maybe a young, experienced English manager. I'm not sure. But yeah, I don't really have much faith in their manager, Stewart. So yeah, that's why I put them there. 10th place, I put Brentford. Brentford's a sticky one, and Brentford's a tough one. Because they've got Neil Mupay, Ben Rama, Saidi Ben Rama, okay? Two players, okay, that if they both go, I do see Brentford dropping down to about 17th, 18th. It's like you're relying on two massive players, okay, because they've both been linked with Ben Rama's been linked with Aston Villa, Mupay's been linked with Villa, Sheffield United, now apparently on the verge of signing for Brighton. I'm not too sure what's happening with that. But look, they've got some absolute brilliant players. Mupay's brilliant in this league. You know, Ben Rama is unreal, and I watched him as well. Really good Algerian. It was, you know, very good at the ball. Can get past players easily as well. Sergi Canos as well. You know, they've got a really good side. But their manager, Thomas Frank, okay, I'm not sure about him. I think he's decent, but I think the loss of Dean Smith was massive for them as well. I feel like if you give Dean Smith a budget a few seasons ago, I feel they would have got promoted easily. But yeah, Thomas Frank hopefully can do a job for them, or hopefully for Brentford he can do a job for them. Obviously they brought in Pontus Jansson as well. A really good signing, £5.5 million as well. A brilliant signing for the second best Swedish defender in this league. As you all know, Alexander Milosevic is the best centre-back in the league. Yeah, Brentford, I'm not sure about Thomas Frank either. Maybe he can do a good job. I've heard he plays decent football, but I just feel like he needs more money invested into the squad, because I don't feel like they can do much without more money into them. But yeah, that's why I put Brentford there. 9th place, I've put Derby County. Good old Derby County, yeah. No, bad old Derby County, should I say. Really, this season, I don't feel like this is even a bias for me. I'm trying my best not... This whole prediction isn't biased for me, okay? But I look at Derby's team, and I don't see anything that makes me go, wow. Like, I don't see anything that makes me go, wow. You know, it's like Harry Wilson last season was one of their key players, okay? Fikayo Tomori, Mason Mount, okay? But now they're all in the Premier League for Liverpool and Chelsea. You know, they've got no players, okay? I thought Frank Lampard was going to give him a few back, but he hasn't done anything. And apparently they've only started doing the business till now. Matt Clark from Brighton, who was at Portsmouth last season. Bilic for 10 million, 15 million from Arsenal. But if you look at their strike force, Martin Waghorn, personally, I'm not a fan. I'm not just saying that because I'm a Forest fan. Jack Marriott, you know, decent striker. But the really main player for me is Duane Holmes. They've not really got much other than that. They've got not much creativity. Tom Lawrence is out of his depth as well, from a lot of Derby fans that I spoke to. Yes, Forest fans and Derby fans do speak to each other. But yeah, Kelly Roos in goals, decent. But, you know, he did cost them in the playoff final. That's, you know, that can't be forgotten about. And yeah, Keogh at the back, you know. I'm not even being biased here. This is why it's quite a tough one. Derby fans think I'm being biased. But I just don't really see Derby doing much this season, to be honest. That's why I put them 9th. In 8th place, I put Stoke City. Look, I think Stoke last season, what let them down was the appointment of Gary Rowett, okay? You should never spend that much money on a manager like Gary Rowett. You know, he's not good. He's not a good manager. But Nathan Jones, in my opinion, is one of the best managers in the Championship. Obviously, he did manage Luton Town last season. And Luton Town apparently now hate him, which I find bizarre, as he did get them to where they are now, with no money as well. But no, Stoke have got a really good chance this season as well. The signing of Tyrese Campbell, the academy development of Tyrese Campbell. He's been brilliant in pre-season, getting goals against Wrexham and I think it was Leicester, I'm not too sure. But he's been brilliant. Sam Vokes up front, Lee Gregory as well has been brought in. Obviously, Shawcross, that injury still makes me feel sick. But yeah, Jack Butland in goal. They've got a really good squad again. I think Nathan Jones could be the man to get them up, I'm not sure. 8th place is just me like testing it out. Ryan Woods in midfield as well, very good. You know, they could go up. They've got a really good chance, okay? Yeah, they got a good chance. In 7th place, I put Cardiff City. Look, you know, Cardiff, they just come down. I think if they do get 7th, it's good for them. They don't really like to invest much into their squad. You know, I think their record final is £15 million, something like that. You know, I do feel like they need to invest more into their squad if they want to have any chance of going up. You know, they've got some good players though. Bobby Reid, a very, very good striker, who was at Bristol City a few years ago. Neil Etheridge in goal, a very, very good goalkeeper. I think he's from the Philippines. Very, very good goalkeeper. One of the best in the league, if not the best. Team him and Jack Butland. And of course, Muric, our goalkeeper. The signing of Will Vaulks as well from Rotherham, a brilliant signing as well. The Welshman himself. I think he's a Swansea fan. But no, very, very good signing. Very, very good, strong midfielder. Very good at tackling. Very good in the air. Hoylett on the left wing as well, can play right wing. Look, they've got a good side. Obviously, they just sold Zahor to West Brom. I don't get that move. 15 million, or I think it was 8 million, I'm not too sure, but it's good money. But to your Championship rival, I don't think it's the best. But it's money that can be put back into the squad if, you know, Vincent Town wants to put the money back into the team. But yeah, Cardiff again have a really good chance. Neil Warnock as well, great manager. I love Neil Warnock. Unpopular opinion, but I do. So yeah, 7th place, Cardiff. 6th place, I've put Middlesbrough. Out of all of them, I think Middlesbrough was one of the ones that I had to look at a bit. Obviously, the manager being Jonathan Woodgate, I was unsure where they would finish. I was never really certain about they would get playoffs, in my opinion. But, you know, I realised he is from Middlesbrough himself. He's a Middlesbrough fan. He's a Middlesbrough boy. A lot of passion will go into this management. And, you know, he really gets on with the chairman as well, the owner, Steve Gibson. They've brought in some brilliant players as well. Brown from West Ham, a very, very good player. Mark Bowler from Blackpool. Yeah, Blackpool, but still a very, very good left back. I think he'll be one of the best in this league as well. And they've got some great players in British Sombalonga. I think getting rid of Martin Braithwaite, I think it is. Yeah, Braithwaite, I think getting rid of him was massive. A really negative player in the dressing room, I've heard, and really negative on the pitch, and always wanted to move away. They've got really good young players as well, such as Lewis Wing. and Tavernier, both Middlesbrough boys as well. They've got a lot of passion in that team, a lot of passion in that city or town. I'm not sure which one it is. But yeah, I think they've got a really good chance. There'll be a lot of passion. So yeah, 6th place, Middlesbrough. In 5th place, who other than my team, Nottingham Forest, if you couldn't already tell already. But yeah, Nottingham Forest, okay? We've had a brilliant summer, if you don't know. The players we've brought in has been absolutely tremendous. Obviously, we had Martin O'Neill a few years ago. Well, not a few years ago. Last season, we had Martin O'Neill. In January, we appointed him, okay? I still don't know why we sacked Aitor Cranko or made him leave. I don't know why we did that. Never know why we did that. And O'Neill was appointed. All the fans got really happy about it. To realise that he was a negative, boring manager. A really negative, defensive dinosaur. Okay, I'm trying to be nice here, but I'm trying my best. And then he got sacked at the end of the season. I think it was... We all thought going into the season we'd have Martin O'Neill, okay? And then quite late on, okay, I think we should have appointed a new manager earlier. We got O'Neill quite late sacked. And we should have got him gone earlier. No lying about that. But the Mushi's come in and as a head coach, not as a manager, as his head coach. So that basically means that he's not in charge of any of the signings. He doesn't pick who to sign. He just says who he wants and what he wants, and then bang, people do it for him. It's a lot easier, less stress on managers as well. I think that should be the same for everyone. But the players we've brought in as well, Muric, brilliant Manchester City goalkeeper, Manchester City's second choice goalkeeper as well. I still don't know why they let him go. They have Claudio Bravo now. I don't know why they've done that because he's terrible. We've got a great squad. Alexander Milosevic, like I mentioned, the best Swedish defender in the league. He's hopefully can be our captain next season, him or Ben Watson. I like Milosevic personally. Really good centre-back, really, really good. He's still quite young as well, around 26, 27, which is still quite young as a footballer. Brought in Ribeiro as well, a Benfica youth talent. Semedo on loan from Benfica. Thiago Silva, in my opinion, has been one of the summer signings. I'm not just saying that. From what I've seen, though, Thiago Silva, when I've been to the pre-season games, he looks incredible. He looks better than Carvalho does. João Carvalho, our star player, okay? He looks better than Carvalho did, okay? He's stronger than Carvalho, faster, probably better at free kicks than him. But I can't wait because our manager likes to play a 4-3-3 formation. And I'm so excited to see, Thiago Silva and Carvalho linking up. It'd be so good seeing that Portuguese youth talent going through to where they are now. Albert Adoma on the left wing. In my opinion, I think we need to improve on the left winger. Adoma's good, but I feel like he'd make more of an impact off the bench. So young winger, like Van La Parra, anyone like that. I think we need to bring in the left winger. Maybe a right back as well as our right back, Tenay Darikwa. He got a 6-month ACL crucial ligament injury, which isn't the best. And we've also signed Rafa Mir from Wolverhampton Wanderers on a season-long loan, okay? Either to start ahead of Graben or to, cover Graben. Graben's a great striker as well, but I really feel like Rafa Mir could have been the man to, get us them goals. Not the best record, but he's young as well, and one of the top talents in Spain. So yeah, 5th place, Nottingham Forest. In 4th place, I put Bristol City. Bristol City, from the start, I said they would finish first, okay? Before I made this video, like 2 months, 3 months ago, I was saying Bristol City are going to get first next season, okay? They've kind of dropped down due to the fact that they've not really invested much. They brought some great players, though, don't get me wrong, you can't forget the players they brought in. Obviously, Adam Webster, their centre-back, who's ranked to around £30 million. I think Aston Villa were interested in him. He's definitely one of the best centre-backs in the league. Really, really good. Really strong centre-back. Also, Andreas Weimann, who I really hate. He hates Forest as well. He always tries to celebrate. But he was a Derby reject, so who cares about him? Jamie Patterson, Callum O'Dowda, Nikos Eliasson. They've got some great players, okay? I mean, we can't forget that. They've got some great players. Jeju, and they've also just signed today Casey Palmer. So yeah, really good side. Lee Johnson as well, a really good manager. Always been loyal by them, always stuck with them, and so the club. The club have always stuck with him. And he's got some great players there. He's bought some great players. He's made the most of players like Marlon Pack, Bobby Reed, etc. So yeah, they have a really good chance this season, okay? So yeah, 4th place, Bristol City. In 3rd place, I put Fulham. Look, Fulham made some brilliant signings, okay? Anthony Kanokot, what a signing that is. Going to be one of the best players in the Championship without a doubt. Mitrovic as well, brilliant striker. Again, ranked one of the top scorers this season. Tom Kenny, who always stuck loyal by them. Alfie Mawson, Ryan Sessegnon, the list goes on, okay? They've got a brilliant squad. But the thing that lets them down for me, which stops them getting automatics, is their manager, Scott Parker. I just think that, like I said earlier, I feel like, Charlton manager, Lee Bowyer, how he's too good for Charlton, okay? And I said in midway through the season or the start or something like that a top club, they'll lose their manager in the league. A big club in the Championship will lose their manager. And I feel like Lee Bowyer will be the sort of guy to replace Scott Parker, and Scott Parker will get the sack because Lee Bowyer's too good for Charlton and Scott Parker isn't good enough for Fulham. What we've seen last season, them 2 months when he managed Fulham in the Premier League, he wasn't really good enough. You know, he never really got them playing well. He is a club legend, but I just don't see him managing yet. I feel like he's going to be one of them players that tries to be a manager, but should just stick to being a pundit. Sorry, Scott, but that's how I feel. In second place, I've put West Bromwich Albion, okay? West Brom, take your pick. Yeah, West Brom, again, what a summer they've had, okay? And what an appointment in Slaven Bilic. A really good manager, obviously, at West Ham. He likes his West, he likes his South. I don't think he likes South, I think he likes West. What a terrible joke. But the players they've brought in as well, Kevin Zahor from Cardiff. But I have been speaking to a West Brom fan, and he does say that Kevin Zahor is shite. He doesn't like him at all. He thinks he's very, you know, boring on the ball, just holds the ball up well. He doesn't really score, doesn't really take any shots on. Which I'm surprised by that. For £8 million, you really got to get yourself a goal scorer if you're going to buy a striker. Romain Sawyers as well from Brentford, who is a West Brom fan, was in the West Brom Academy, returned home as a man, he said. Brilliant signing, really good signing. Was really good at Brentford last season, I remember. Was their captain, I think, as well, which is really, really good for them. And yeah, Semi Ajayi from Rotherham, a really good midfielder / defender. I think he likes playing that central defensive midfield role. Really, really good player. They brought in some brilliant players. Sam Johnson in goal, Hegazi at the back. They've got a really good chance. I do think they'll get automatics this season. I think Bilic is a really, really good appointment this season as well. Appointment, shall I say. Yeah, they've done some really good business this season. So yeah, second place, West Bromwich Albion. In first place, get a drum roll. Leeds United, okay? You're probably going to hate me, guys, if you're not Leeds fans. You're going to hate me. If you are Leeds fans, you're going to love me, okay? But if you're not Leeds fans, you're going to hate me right now. Because everyone hates Leeds. Personally, okay, I don't like Leeds at all. I'm just going to put it out there. I don't like Leeds. Even though Leeds hate Derby and Leeds prefer Forest, I really hate Leeds. But yeah, fair play to them, okay? Last season was very unlucky for them. I think Bielsa this season will flourish. I think last season he did very, very well in his first league of football. Didn't spend much money. I think they spent around £12 million, £13 million. Which in your first season as well to get third, should I say. They were second and they bottled it. But, you know, he did a really good job last season. I think this season it will be his year. I think the extra contract that he signed is really good for the club as well. Knows that he'll commit more of a future there to them. I think last season they were expecting him to leave. But they've got some great players, you know, Kamar Roof. Even though he handballed against us and got the point against us a few seasons ago, he's still a cheat and I still hate him, but a very, very good striker in this league. You know, Calvin Phillips, a very, very good midfielder, linked with Aston Villa for £14 million. But you've got to at least go 25 million for him, a brilliant player. Patrick Bamford as well, decent, not the best, but, you know, they've got decent players. Pablo Hernandez might be a bit out of his depth now. Depth. This video's making me go a bit bonkers, guys. But I think the loss of Pontus Jansson is massive. I think they really need to keep him. I think him and Cooper last season were unreal together. And that's a massive loss for them. That's where I do feel they will struggle defensively now. Without Janssen, they really are going to struggle. But yeah, first place, Leeds United, and I think it is all down to Marco Bielsa. Guys, if you have enjoyed this video, please drop a like, it's really appreciated. Try not to dislike if I put your team in a bad place. I'm just being totally honest, it's just my opinion. No hard feelings to any of the teams except Derby. And maybe Leeds, but Leeds shouldn't have hard feelings to me because I'm being nice to them right now. So yeah, guys, drop a like, subscribe, turn post notifications on. This video was so hard to make. So yeah, I appreciate all the support. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Forest till I die.